hundreds of pounds of sand to sandblast this, was also donated by local businessmen, local black businessmen. After tuck pointing and sanding comes priming. Okay, so here we see the students of the one at the top left is one of the supervisors that was also assisting, getting them to start, getting the paints out, opening, so to start priming. And then you have them priming simultaneously on the side wall and on the front wall. In the morning crew would prime, and the afternoon crew would prime. And this is, we're pushing, because we want to get all the priming. I only have the students for 6 weeks, so I'm trying to get the priming, the tuck pointing, and everything done within a week, 2 weeks maximum. Okay, because I want them to actually, in the second week, to actually start painting. This is the primed wall. They did a good job, don't you think? Now, once you get the wall ready, then you have to figure out how you're going to get the drawing, which is a large drawing called cartoon. How you're going to get the drawing onto the wall. Okay, and of course one of the things that you have to do is you have to be able to grid the wall. And then you graph the drawing, and then you expand the drawing onto the wall. So this is the first section. This is a drawing that I did to start looking at what was the prime placement and perspectives that I'm looking at. So here we have the first section of the graft. And of course, what was important was the placement of the railroad track. Everything else determined as to the placement of the railroad track. Once I had it placed, then I pretty much would know where I wanted to begin to place other things. And as you can see, also it's beginning to change a little bit at the top. You can see the family at the bottom, so now we know where the family is going to be. Above it now we're beginning to get transposed into an Egyptian scene, like Sahara Egyptian scene. And then next to it is a West African theme. You can begin to see where there's going to be a face and a face of a West African, and then moving on. So now we're beginning to see some of the basic grafting. Now, once I pretty much grafted or had an idea of what the basic graft was going to be, then we had to go ahead and grid the wall. So we had to find the exact center of the wall and lay the first line, the first plumb line. And then from there, we'd extend it out 12 inches on either side, all the way. Okay? So that's what we ended up doing. And here you see they're laying the first plumb line. Now in the process, as we're grafting, now I'm explaining to them what the mural was going to be about and how we're going to do this. And we want to do it each step at a time so that they would understand each process. So here you see me, a lot younger, thinner me, and a portion of the actual cartoon. Okay, now they have the cartoon, and now they have to begin to start transferring the cartoon onto the wall. Now, the ones that were standing on the ladders have to do the upper section. So I'd had someone at the bottom describing where they're supposed to draw as they're drawing. So they'd look at it and say, over to the left, up, over there, down, and they were able to actually work on it very well. Now, like I said, each morning we had to set up, and each evening we had to take down. And that's because all the equipment, because it was donated, it is not ours, and we had to make sure nothing walked away. So we had to break everything down in the evening. And Mr. Marco had allowed us to store it in the building behind those great big door. So I had the key to the door. And so every morning they had to come in, and the first thing we did is we took everything out, the scaffolding and everything out. We had to put the scaffolding together. We get all the paints out, get the paint stirred, everything prepared. And then they would start painting. And here we see the first stages of the mural. So you're looking at pretty much the first stage. If you notice again, that it has changed once more. So not only did we get the pyramid, but some folks said, well, you know, well, what's the pyramid mean? You know, we want some African history. We want to know about our past. We want people to know about their past. And of course, they wanted to begin with Egypt. So we have the pyramid, and then we have kind of like what the Sphinx probably would have looked like. So again, we have this transposing and changing once more. As I said, in the afternoon, we had to take down. Now you can see at the end of the day, it's kind of messy, isn't it? And they were responsible not just to take everything down and to pick up all the paint and stuff, but they were responsible for picking up all that paper. We could not leave anything, you know, because we wanted to make sure that nobody had anything negative to say about what we were doing. So they had to clean up every day. This is the second section of the mural, and this time was again looking at placement. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting the right placement. And this is actually a quick sketch of the placement for the section on slavery. There was also drawings and adjustments that went with it, so that you'd, like over here at the very top, over here you see the man that's standing with the ship behind it, and then of course the horse, and trying to figure out which direction we had the horse. Now, I also wanted to show you a detail of another one of my drawings in my sketchbook, showing the horse that's over on the right side. Now, one of the ways that I came up with, what I came up with in order to make sure that everybody could paint, was that I broke it down so the mural became almost a paint by number. But instead of paint by number, it was paint by color. So the colors were mixed and labeled. Then on the drawings, I would go back on drawings, and I would label on the drawings what color goes where on the cartoons. So I'd redo the cartoons so that you have the family, and then decide this color, this color, this color, and then literally go, sometimes literally I would just go up to the wall and just write on the wall which color goes where, and then the kids would begin to paint. This is beginning on the transfer of the second section. You can see there some of them are drawing and painting on one side, while the other group is some of them beginning to draw on the other. The three students that actually had art background, I actually gave them assignments so that they would actually start actually drawing without any other assistance, so that they could start working, and then the other kids could keep painting. This is the mural at the completion, or the completing the second section. Now every day, people would come by. They would come by to talk. They would come by just to sit and watch. They'd come by to see what was happening. Some of them would come by and want to see if they can assist. There was a daycare center that was around the corner in the same house or building that Oasis Graphics was in. And they would bring